right, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to Midweek Mindset. This is our first one of the year, and I'm super excited, especially with the topic that we have for you guys today. So, to start things off, my name is Michelle Anantua, co-owner of Harmony's Divine Design, where I work alongside the awesome T Weaver. At Harmony's Divine Design, we assist entrepreneurs in achieving their goals. So we do this by one-on-one business coaching, online classes, as well as digital products and services to help you streamline your workflow. Now, Kim Jane.
Hey, Happy New Year, everybody. Hey. My name is Kimberly James, and I'm the owner and creative director of Josie May. And my clients pay me to bring their vision to life. I empower them through creativity, mindset transformation, and personal growth by offering digital and physical products that reflect our unique style, craft workshops to spark your creativity, 30-day challenges to expand your mind, and one-on-one coachings to help you achieve your goals.
Awesome. So for today's topic, um, this is actually something that came to me over the holiday season that I have actually been meditating on. And I'm a person of prayer and I'm a person of faith. And during my one of my moments, my quiet moments, the question was presented to me: what does standing on the front line of your life look like? And it was something that was kind of like a kick in the gut. Because when you think of frontline, right? I'm not sure of anyone else, but when I hear the word frontline, I'm thinking of automatic defense, right? If you think of the army, the people on the front line, those are the ones that are the first responding to whatever is happening. Um, and when it comes to our life, how many of us are actually present on our front line? How many of us are genuinely fighting for what it is that we want to accomplish within our life? So I posed the question to you guys: what does the front line look like in your mind when it comes to you?
When Michelle brought up this topic, I'm like, ooh, that's good. Because it made me really pause and think about how active I am in my life daily. Or am I just completing tasks? Am I really present? Am I really doing everything that represents me? Am I being my best advocate? It really made me pause and think about everything that I do, and am I being intentional about the things that I do, or am I just kind of going through a checklist?
Yeah. I think, especially, with our day to days, it's very easy for us to fall into the habit, right? Fall into the rituals of what it is that we have to do. So, you have your routine. You wake up in the morning, you get yourself ready for work, or you get yourself ready for the kids, or what have you. You go through that process. Then you move forward and go to work, and then you have another process there, and then after work, you have the commute, and then coming back home for your night routine. So a lot of times, I know I myself also have been guilty of it, of just going through the motions of life, because it's sometimes it's a little easier to be set on autopilot than to be present in those hard hitting, tough hitting moments. And I'm looking at the chat really quick. So I just wanted to read what you guys were putting in there. So when I asked, what does the front line mean? Deborah put in war zone, project line, goal setting for the upcoming. Lots of moving parts on the front line for me. Awesome. Sarah noted being in the thick of it. Diana, the person who create and manage something. Exactly. So when it comes to our businesses, we have to be present minded in what it is that we're doing, what we're working towards to accomplish. And I've said it many times and I'll continue to say it. Our businesses are reflections of us, right? So if we are in a mindset where it's emotional chaos, right? A mindset where, other things are taking precedence, then we can't be present in what we're doing because we're subconsciously focusing on everything else. And the thing about when you control your front line, you are controlling your setting, right? So one thing that I go back on is I used to be a cheerleader, right? So I was a pyramid squad. So that means that I'm was one of the girls tossing girls up over my head. And the thing about that, when you're in a cheerleading squad on the ground, there are four main components. You have your front, which is the person that watches the flyer's feet. You have the baits, which are two people that set up on side to actually push the person up. And then you have the part that I was, and I was a back. The back for the flyer is actually the most important person on that mat. And the reason they're the most important person on that mat is because I'm responsible for making sure your head and your neck lands properly. So when you're in control of the crown, your mind, that person's head, you have a responsibility. And this is the same responsibility that we need to start approaching our own lives with. Stop riding on the sidelines of things. There's going to come situations where we're going to have to step up and step out. And yes, it may feel uncomfortable, it may feel uncertain, but if you don't do it for yourself, then who will? Right? Let's see. So Sarah noted she's previously been on autopilot, putting out fires, reactive, completely no plan, taking steps daily to turn it around. And that's all we can do. The most important thing to realize when we are off alignment or out of alignment is just that realizing it. Because as soon as we can identify that we're off, that something's not working right, that something's not going right, that should be our incentive to identify, okay, where is that problem coming from? And within our businesses, we don't realize that a lot of the other weight that we bear, it actually comes into our businesses. That it shows up as fear, it shows up as doubt, anxiety, it shows up in all these different facets. And, there are times where I've even experienced where some of those emotions, they can get a little out of control, you know, but when it gets to that point, what's one way that you rein it in?
What was the question? What's one way that you
That you rein
bring?
yourself back in?
I take a pause. I pause a lot. If I'm stressed, if I'm overwhelmed, if I'm unsure, because I am an emotional person, I try not to operate out of emotion. So I've learned to kind of take a moment and reevaluate what's going on and why am I feeling this way, especially if there's a negative thought, because, you know, God doesn't give you stuff that's negative that he wants you to operate in. So to me, if I'm feeling that negative feeling or that negative thought, then I have to really kind of, do a mind shift. Like, okay, this is not of God. There's obviously, because he doesn't say anything negative about his kids. So that's the one thing I have to remind myself. So if there's a negative feeling, I have to figure out where that's coming from. So for me, whenever that happens, I have to take a pause and just kind of reevaluate. I am definitely being more intentional.
Mhm.
I am an introvert. Stepping out, talking, being in front of people, this is difficult. It's not easy for me, but I do it anyway. So it's operating in the fear, even though you have the fear. And here's the thing, everybody's not going to like what you do, but you have to remember your purpose for doing it. So it will resonate with who it's supposed to resonate with. And everybody else doesn't matter.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you hit on a good point as to why sometimes we avoid standing on the front line. And I know for some, it might be the fear of failure, right? Some people are scared to fail, but I don't like the term failure because if I put my mind to something and it may not work out the way I imagined it, it's still not a failure because regardless, I can learn from that and then improve and do better. And I think that's one thing we really, really, really have to work on are those inner thoughts that we feed to and to ourselves. So when it comes to a fear of failure, you might have that fear because you've experienced it before. And when you experienced it, there was a negative moment that attached to it. And that's what you subconsciously hold on to is those feelings that you felt in that moment. Okay. T.
And sometimes that failure that you feel is not yours. It's what has been given to you by others and what they think of you. So that's when we have to decide, are we going to take on this or are we going to let it go and hit the pause, as you said, Kim, hit that pause button and like, I'm not dealing with this today because it doesn't belong to me. But some people don't know how to take what doesn't belong to them because it's been piled on them so long that they think it is a part of it, and it's not. Half of the problems that we have in our lives are other people's problems that has been dumped in our lap.
Yeah. That is,
That's all.
and also with, upbringing and parents and teachers, different influences. When you have someone that doesn't speak positivity into your life, those little negative comments, they stay with us, regardless if you realize it or not. And it builds up that fear like, I can't do this, or I'm not accepted, or I'm not enough, or, I'm not valued. It's amazing how small words can have cause such big impact in our lives and how we hold on to that stuff. And before you realize it, you're, you know, in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever, and you're still holding on to a comment that somebody made to you back 20 years ago. I had a coaching client, we're talking, and she was having difficulties based on something that happened when she was in grammar school. And you have to think back, that was a long time ago. And whoever even said it probably doesn't even realize the impact, but that you held on to it for that long. So think about, all of the negative stuff that happens in your life. You have to, at some point, figure out how to, you can't always ignore it. I'm not saying ignore it, but how you deal with it and realize that that's not your stuff. Everything, every negative comment is not valid. And you have to, at some point, separate that from who you are and whose you are. And if you can take that pause and reevaluate, and that's why I love positive affirmations. I am enough, just as I am, with all my flaws, with all my imperfections. I'm me. I'm authentically me. And love yourself for who you are. We're ever changing. I'm not the same chick I was in my 20s and my 30s, my 40s, and now I'm gonna be 55 in a couple of months. I'm changing and I'm loving every moment of my change. Now, do I like the sagginess? No, but I'm going to embrace it because it's me. Gravity is on the pool, and but I'm going to enjoy the ride because there's nothing I can do about it. I could, why would I be depressed because my body is changing because I'm getting older? It happens. Am I gonna fight it? Yeah, I'm gonna give me some better support, but I'm gonna keep it moving. But you have to, I mean, because life happens, and you can't let every single solitary thing that happens affect you today and then going forward. I refuse to allow something that happened to me, 20 years ago to affect my happiness today.
Yeah, that was powerful. And just to piggyback off of you real quick, Kim, I remember I'm a big advocate of therapy. Okay. Because I have had to realign some things. But one of the most prominent things that my therapist actually said to me, and like T also mentioned, is Michelle, I hear everything that's bothering you. And then she asked me the question, but how much of that is yours? And I had to really sit and think. And as I was thinking, I'm like, well, that's not mine. That was my aunt's. That's not mine. That was my dad's. That's not mine. That was my uncle's. And it was all these things that I was holding. And I'm just like, wait a minute, this isn't
Yeah.
my stuff. You know, this this grown people stuff. Like this has nothing to do with me. And I had to realize how I had to just start letting some of those things go, some of those beliefs go. Now, don't get me wrong, some of those moments that I went through, I had to go through to help develop the mindset that I have today. Did I necessarily enjoy going through it? Absolutely not.
Mhm.
But when I look back in retrospect of what I've experienced to get me to the point that I am today, sitting here with you guys, I understand why God made me go through that particular path, right? Another note that I wanted to make as to why do we also avoid standing on the front line is perfectionism and overthinking. I'm an overthinker. And the crazy thing is, as beautiful as you can be presented an idea, is as quickly as we can think and talk ourselves out of it. And that comes from feeling uncertain, and then when you're overthinking, you're thinking so much, you think yourself out of time, really, because by the time you look at it, all the time you spent thinking and not taking action, nothing has gotten done. But the fact that you have now frustrated yourself and you probably need a nap. And I myself am guilty of that. So when it comes to the ideas that you guys get, just try it. Try it. You know, don't overthink it. And one other thing that I will say is stop concerning yourself with what other people think. They won't think what they want to think anyway.
Mhm.
Whether I am the superhero or the villain in your story, I can't control your mindset, but I can certainly control mine. If someone doesn't like something I create, okay, that's fine. It's not to service you. But that doesn't mean that there aren't 20, 30, hundreds of other people that what I've done can't help. A lot of times, especially in an overthinker's mindset, when you receive one negative remark, you start pulling it apart. Start pulling it apart. Well, I could have did this and I could have changed that and I could have done this. No, you did exactly what you needed to do. You know, when we start overthinking, it's like I said before, it's the uncertainty that starts consuming us because we feel that we lack in some area. We may feel that we don't deserve certain things. You know, some of us may get stuck in being in a comfort zone. I know I'm guilty of it. Because listen, I'm cool. I tell everybody I am in my bubble and I am fine with that. you know, but I've also realized that in order for movement, the movement that God needs to make in my life, I have to step out. I have to say, hey guys, it's me. I'm going to tell you something. A year ago, I wouldn't be on this mindset. A meet and greet? You crazy. I was perfectly fine with the camera off, hopping on my mom's mic every now and then. That was it. I was cool with that. But
Yeah, you did.
but the thing about it was God had placed inside of me the realization that he has more for me.
Mhm.
That there is something bigger in me that I have to share. That even if I am not camera ready, even if my voice might be cracking, there's messages on my heart that God needs me to share with you guys. So if I was to sit and constantly overthink, like today, I'm sitting up here in a fleece pullover. Like I'm not, I don't have the lashes, the nails and all. No, I'm coming to you as I am because that is the only way I know how to show up. Now, can I put all the other stuff on? Of course I can. I look good in it too. We all do.
Oh, wow.
But I was about to say, but why? If I am to sit here and discuss mindset with you guys, if I am to sit here and be on the front line of my life, which means I have to show up as God has created me to show up, then yes, I'm coming to you with a hoodie on, with my hair in a bun. You know, I'm coming to you. I might have a little bags because I didn't really get sleep last night, but I am showing up because this is the message and this is the gift that God has on my heart for you guys. You know, I grow in this space every single time I turn on a Zoom. I'm learning something. And that's wonderful. But I wouldn't have been able to do any of this if I hadn't stepped out my comfort zone. I'm very much like Kim. I'm an introvert. I like to, I'll be back here. But God called me to the front line.
Michelle, you mentioned overthinker, perfectionism, and comfort zone. That's speaking my love language. I am a true overthinker. I will complete something and it is as perfect can be, but I will pull it apart again, redo it. And who is that helping? If I've been given a gift and I keep it on my computer, who is it helping? Who is it serving? At some point, you kind of have to release the stuff. I have the perfectionism. I want everything to be perfect. But here's the thing. One coach told me they didn't stop at Apple 1. We're on 16. You can always make an update. You can always make a 2.0. You can always do a new and improved, but just release it. At some point, you have to, if you have stuff that you have and it's still on your computer, I know I mentioned this once before. Look at your bank account and see what you got on your computer that you can release because your money is on your computer.
There you go.
We all have thousands of dollars, I'm sure, with all the stuff that we have created. Let your bank account be your fire to release it. And if nobody buys it, that's okay. But you released it. You took a step in the right direction. I mean, I've released things and it didn't sell, Then I take it off and I give it as a freebie. I use it as a lead magnet. Somebody like it.
Hmm. Yep, absolutely.
And that comfort zone. I mean, comfort zones are great. They, that's the place where you got your big baggy sweatpants and a big bowl of pasta, but you can't stay there. It's okay for a day or two, but at some point you have to move out of that comfort zone. Because
Mhm.
who are you really serving?
Mhm. Mhm.
Sometimes it's hard stepping out of that comfort zone because you don't know what's out there after you step out of it.
It is incredibly uncomfortable. This is uncomfortable. And I like y'all. It's still uncomfortable. It's still uncomfortable. But at some point, you have to take the leap. If we are going to be stewards of the gifts and the talents that we've been given, you can't stay in the back corner. I mean, I've been with Coco Twins since 2020, 2021. I was in the cut, in the back. I was one of those black screens. You you didn't see me. I would not come out. I would not talk. I've been in other creative spaces and was found that those spaces were toxic. So I'm very careful about where I choose to be and where I choose to show up. So I sat in the cut for a long time. But I have to say, I absolutely love the tribe. I haven't come across anybody who was toxic. And if they are, I'm sure there's some toxic people somewhere. They just haven't come across my way. But you have to step out because you never know. Stepping out, like with AI Fusion, with Linda's post, I, would not have stepped out, but I'm just like, I saw the post and I'm just like, I'm not responding to that. And then you know how you scroll and then you see it again, and I'm like, okay, let me just look. I'm like, let me look at her page first. See what she got. I'm like, okay, she got some nice art on
A
here.
whole scouting report. Like, I
And I was
love
like,
that.
I'm gonna check it out first before I checked, and I'm like, okay, she got some cute art. And I'm like, I saw, a spiritual reference. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, well, let me just reach out. And then I didn't even send her my best prompt. I sent her just something so basic. But watch how she flipped it. I'm like, okay, okay. But it was taking that step. And if I had never done that, I never would have met the other 14, well, no, 13 creatives in this space. And they are, yes, 13, Dean. I had to take myself out. Amazing creatives in this space. But that was, kind of taking that leap. I never would have done that, in 2020, 2021. 2023, I finally said, because I've been working, in my business as a solopreneur. But I said, if God opens a door, I could at least peek. So that's what I've been doing.
Yep.
Miss T?
Yeah, you're funny when you talk about AI fusion. I think that's all of us that joined that group that day. We all have a similar story.
Yeah.
I scrolled by that. I don't want to be bothered. And so says, girl, take your butt back up. And I said, okay. I scrolled back up. I sent her my image and a prompt. And like you say, the rest is history.
Hmm.
The 13 founders of AI Fusion stories are uh, all similar. We all scrolled by, but something told us to go back home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Funny part about that was I did see Linda's post. And at the time that I had saw the post, nobody had responded to it. So I'm like, okay, well, if nobody responds, I'll circle back, and I'll reach out. And the funny thing was I saw my mom, if for those that don't know, T is my mom. Um,
She is?
I know, right?
I
uh,
like your mama.
but I had saw that she had responded underneath, and I think I saw Dean had responded. So a few people had responded by that point. So I was like, okay, well, I know she's in good hands. That's exactly what I said. I know she's in good hands, so I don't have to touch it. And then the other side of my story is I'm the adopted child. But yeah. So but it's interesting how it goes to show you when God has you aligned with what it is you need to do, it sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
It's something you can't avoid. You can't go around it. You can't maneuver around it, you know. So, yeah, AI Fusion is an experience, Dean.
So you said something very interesting just a moment ago. You said when you looked to see if you should join and you saw your mom join and you said to yourself, they are in good hands or something to that effect. What changed when you joined us or we adopted you and said you can't go nowhere?
Well, um, what had changed was at the time that I actually came into the fold um, of AI Fusion, they were getting ready to do, ironically enough, a meet and greet. Um, and a presentation had took place in a community that left a bad taste in people's mouths prior. So since my mama, and I'm gonna be honest, since my mama was in this group, I'm like, y'all not gonna have my mama out here looking like no fool. So, and I also remember that I had held a actual Zoom class, and most of the people from AI Fusion was in their Zoom class. So I'm like, okay, y'all want to do a meet and greet? Y'all talking about live streaming? Y'all doing what it's talking all this techie stuff, and y'all still trying to figure out the button. We gonna get this together. I love y'all.
And we still can't find a button. Okay.
True. True story.
But the thing about it was like, from the time that the initial post was put up by Linda up until the meet and greet point, all I had heard from my mom was nothing but joy when she would speak to you guys in the chat. You would have her laughing all day long. Like, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm minding my business, right? I'm the queen of minding my business. If nobody knows that, I mind my business, but stuff God just continues to bring stuff to me. Um, and then, like I said, when it came to the meet and greet, I'm like, okay, well, mom, I'll take an extended hand. Let Miss Linda know, yada yada yada. So it was Dean's bright idea that we knocked out in 12 hours with 13 adults. Everybody.
God's idea. Let's put God's idea because I
God.
didn't know how that was going to work.
So with 13 adults, so I came in, I wasn't trying to step on anybody's toes. I'm just like, we just need to have stuff organized. I like organization. I like structure when it comes to certain things. So got everything organized, got it set up. And most of AI Fusion was like, I'm not going on camera. I don't want to talk. I don't want to do this. I said, listen, how we gonna have a meet and greet and all y'all have is a picture? You're gonna have to show your face and let these people know who you are. Needless to say, we had the meet and greet. It was phenomenal. For people that did not want to be on camera or talk, they talked for 3 hours that night. It was a success, and AI Fusion is what it is today. But I say all of that to say this. God gave Dean an idea. 13 other people responded. And for each of them, that event was stepping out of their comfort zone. For me, I was petrified. There was 60 people on the live. including Misha. I got 13 people that I'm keeping an eye on that I already know is nervous, and I gotta, making sure they're cool. And it was a complete step out of my comfort zone, and it was a giant leap of faith, which pretty much sums up this whole lesson today is when it comes to your front line and being present in it, it's stepping out on faith. It's taking charge. It's standing in what it is and who you are. You know, I will say this when it comes to my own personal front line, before, I'm not gonna lie, I would waver. I would much rather hide behind something, someone, because that's what made me comfortable. But now, at this point in my life, oh, I'm standing on my front line 10 toes down. Because the fact of the matter is, I know what I have experienced to get me to this point. Anybody else could tell my story any way they want to. I truly don't care. But I know what Michelle has done. I know what Michelle has experienced. I know the fights Michelle had to go through to get here. And with that being said, I got God ahead of me, my front line right here. I think I'm going to be okay. you know, the world comes in and shake us up. It shakes us up. Life can life recklessly. And we lose ourselves within the battle. We all do. I don't care how much a person seems like they are put together. Believe me, there has been a time where they have dropped to their knees, curled up in a ball, and cried. You may not have seen it, they may not share it, but believe me, those silent tears are shared and shed by everyone. The only thing that makes it different is your what's next. So I'm a firm believer of what's next because the build up to the climax, okay, we got there. We realized we had to get to that point. Now we done got to the top of that mountain. Are you gonna roll back down it? Or are you gonna keep pushing forward? Because I think I might be the baby in this room right now. But I'll say this. You ain't got about whatever. It's fine. But I will say in the years that I have been blessed with this earth, I do not take it lightly because I know what it took just to get here today. And for each and every one of you guys, your journey, your story is your power. The traumas you experience, the ailments, the aches, the pains, the tears, the things that brought you to your knees, that is your power. You want to know why? Because you got back up. You still here. So I'm the type of person, I love y'all, and I'm from Philly. And so I get a little rowdy when I need to. And excuse my French. But I'm about to kick life's ass.
That's not French.
Hey, listen, it's enough for me.
I took 4 years
I'm
of French.
being good. Greek, French, pardon moi, whatever you want me to say. But in all honesty, it comes with the mindset. Instead of harboring feelings on somebody that did you wrong, be like, all right, you know what? You did me wrong. I'll take that. I'll eat that. Now watch me work. Because now I'm about to make you take and grovel. That's my mindset. I don't have to sit here and banter with somebody. I don't have to sit here and go back and forth with somebody. I don't have to sit here and accept someone's limited opinion of who I am. Mm-mm. Nope. Oh, that's how you feel about me? That's fine. But all that shows to me is the insecurities that you have within yourself. That's cool. I respect it. So for me, and I guess I get this from being raised by a military dad, that front line is 10 toes down, eyes forward, shoulders back. You focused on your target. I know right now is not my end all be all. I will not accept this as my end all be all, especially when I know that God has placed greatness within my heart. I can't. And God has placed the same within each and every one of you. Are you kidding me? Bean?
So when you started off this mindset and you asked the question, what is your front line? I had a real difficult time with that. But you wrapped it up real nicely. And I didn't see it coming. Um, I think for me, the front line was one, taking the courage to address something and putting it out. But I understand when you have a front line, you're not by yourself. I've always done things, or I've always tried to do things on my own. And no matter how tough it gets, I feel it's my responsibility to do that. And being part of AI Fusion, you guys refused to let me do that. And it taught me a lot about this frontline conversation that if you have like-minded individuals, it may not be your immediate family, it may not be someone you've rolled with for X amount of years or something like that. God puts people in your life uh, for a season, for a reason, for a lifetime to make sure his will is done. And the gifts that I've had within me have come out so much with AI Fusion. And I didn't realize my front line was right in front of me. And I say that to say this, that the first steps begins with you. And if you're listening to God, as I'm going through my mind right now, God is never, he's your number one partner. But sometimes he brings someone in your way to kind of stirs up the hornet's nest to get you uncomfortable to move forward on what he needs you to do. But he's always finding somebody, whether it's a protagonist or an ally, to make you use your gift and really help somebody else. And he keeps on bringing me back to the gifts. The gifts are not ours. The gifts are for us to inspire somebody else, to resolve somebody's pain point, to heal them from a past trauma, stuff like that. It's not us, it's the gift. And so um, the front line is twofold. It's you and who you partner with. That's what all I'm going to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you said something really important is that you're not on the front line by yourself. We're in a mindset and we have 23 people in this mindset. This shows you you're not by yourself. Nobody knew the topic we were going to talk about today, but every last one of you had a movement in your heart to be here. Not by yourself. And I know that, and especially in this space, because it is all digital, so we don't have the, human in-person interaction, right? So it can get a little lonely feeling. But I guarantee you, if you say, hey, I need to talk to somebody, put that in DCT, put that in Harmony. Believe me, you will get a Zoom link from me so daggone quick. Your head be spinning. Ask Kristen. You know, because the thing about it is, and I've had to learn it, and it's kind of hard to learn this being an only child. Oh, what's Harmony? Harmony's Divine Design art Facebook page. Mm, Mom, could you put the link in the chat? That is me and T's business. But we do have, like I said, being an only child, I've had to obviously face a lot of things, quote unquote, alone, right? You know, I don't have a sibling I can bounce things off of. I don't have that extra person I can lean on, so to speak. But one thing that I have seen God do is he continues to build a village around me. And one thing that I'm focusing on this year is nurturing those genuine relationships. So I know I'm not on the front line by myself. I'm not doing this by myself. I need somebody to holler at. I got Kristen, I got Kim, there's Nikki, there's Dean, there's T, Janet. I mean, I can just riddle off every name in this room right now. Even if I had to say, hey, Elizabeth, I got to talk to you about something, I'm pretty sure we'll find a way to chat, you know? So when it comes to your front line, as Dean said, it first starts with you and your mindset, which is why we're here today,
Mhm.
you know, to gain that clarity of whatever it is that might be going on up there. I don't know what's going on in your life. I don't know what's going on in your minds, but I do know that God placed us all here to hear the message from one another. And that to me, that sounds like a mighty, mighty strong army to me. I don't know about anybody else, but I'll put y'all on the front line with me any day. All right. Would anybody like to add anything? I know the chat's been really active over here.
Mhm.
So Monique stated she's taking things step by step. Janice noted that she just started showing herself on camera 2 months ago. So congrats. And she just did her first TikTok, by the way. So don't let her make it sound like it's little. Um, Monique is saying that she's loving every step, which is awesome. Charlene, she's careful about the spaces she's in. She removes herself from groups, you know, she's no longer in line with. And that is perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. I love Kim saying, Kim, can you say your saying, please, that
What's
you're
that?
everybody's cup of tea?
Oh, I'm not everybody's cup of tea because I like coffee.
I
And
love that
that's
saying so much.
okay. It's okay. Everybody's not going to like you, and it's okay. Just don't be in my face then.
That
If you
part.
don't like me, just stay away. We good. But, don't have ill intentions. You don't like me and you have ill intentions. And that's okay. And I had to learn that early on. I would be offended if somebody didn't like me. But the older you get, the more comfortable you get being in your own skin. And I don't care. If you're not paying no bills over here, you can keep your opinion to yourself. Or like my father-in-law used to say, everybody has an opinion, like everybody has a.
Mm-hmm.
So does
Yeah.
it really matter? You know, and I know one thing that I do is my filter works really, really well. If I give my opinion based on two things: will it make the situation better, or will it make it worse? And if it's not going to make it better, then just keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
So we were talking about front lines and how you have to stand on the front line of your business, yourself, your life. think back, Oprah Winfrey, when she first started out as a broadcaster, she was told that she shouldn't be on TV. And if she had have actually listened to that producer or that executive, she never would have been the person that she ended up being. So you cannot allow someone else's opinion of you dictate who you know you are and your abilities. So if it's not a positive opinion and it's not constructive feedback, don't even give it a moment of your time.
I have one question I have for you guys. And you can put a one in the chat. When someone tells you no, do you take that as the final answer? One for yes, two for no. I'm curious. I'm doing a case study right now.
What was the question again? I can't walk and chew gum. I was trying to read the chat and listen to you at the same time. I can't. This
If,
menopausal brain, it can do one thing and one thing only. What was the question? I'm sorry.
if someone tells you no,
Hmm.
do you take that as the final answer? One for
Okay.
yes, two for no. Okay,
I say two for no because I don't ask permission.
that part. Jamila said three, depends on the person. Yeah,
I don't ask
I agree with
permission.
you because if T say no, that's still mama. I might be grown, but I ain't that grown.
Even with my mom, she doesn't. Our roles have reversed, and I have become the parent, and I don't know when that happened, but at some point, you become your parent's parent. So
Yes,
now I tell her what to do.
yes. And you know what? That is funny because when my mom, I saw the roles reverse, and I am the baby. I had a older sister and I have a brother,
Hmm.
and it was like, when did I become you? And now I see it with me and Michelle, and I don't like it at all.
I
But
didn't
it's
say it wasn't
happening,
learned.
and there's nothing I can do. Really, it's Mother Nature.
Hmm.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Hmm.
It's the law.
Yeah, I just said I don't know when the roles reversed and I became my mother's parent, but it works. And the funny thing is, she's one of my employees, so that's even funnier. So I get to tell her what to do at work too. But it's all in respect and love. I would never,
Oh,
because she'll come over. I want to clean your house. You are not cleaning my house.
I know, lady.
But I will take her saying Uber. Her Uber Eats. Her saying Eats. I call her saying Eats because she'll cook for me. I love it.
Love it. But I asked that question because of course, I gotta have you guys thinking. Um, if you will not accept no from someone else, why do you accept it for yourself? I see you, Kristen. You can unmute. But seriously, not the setup. Yep, the setup. It surely was. Because I want you guys to really think if you hold people over here, right? Basically saying, hey, listen, I got a boundary line. You're not dictating nothing over here. You can't tell me what to do. I'm grown. This, that, and the third. Okay. Your answer to them is no, right? Why on the inside can't we tell those negative thoughts? No, I'm not giving you space. I'm not giving you time. When that voice of, well, you know you can't do that. No, yes, I can. As Kim usually says, add a comma to the end of that sentence. I might not be able to do it right now, but I may not have the resources right now, but so one thing that I will leave you guys with is start telling those negative thoughts no. You want to know how to start building up your front line? Two letters. N-O. No. When that fear start lurking in, I got this. Tell yourself, I got this. One thing that I tell myself is, listen, we doing what I know how to do. That's it. That's all. We doing what I know how to do. And as T mentioned in the chat, no is a complete sentence.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't need to have something added to it. It's just no. Like I tell my 3-year-old, but, no, no. And I mean, he can try to finagle all the words and give you the mommy I love yous and the hugs and the kisses that he wants. The answer is still no. So when it comes to my negative thoughts, no, I am not giving you access to mess up my day. When it comes to a negative person, no, I'm not giving you access. Not dealing with you. So that was the setup that I had for you guys. That was the case study I had for you guys. Would anybody else like to mention anything before we wrap up?
You just dropped the mic.
All out of love. Definitely all out of love. All right. Well, it is 2:09.
No, we can't wrap up yet.
Well, come on, Nikki. What you got on your heart, Nikki?
Besides the fact that God is good, I'll say that. Oh, you know what? Let me do this.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey, girl.
Besides the fact that God is amazing, thank you for AI Fusion. I've said this before, but for the people that are new, hi, my name is Nikki. You're awesome. And Jesus loves you. Okay, so those of you who are new, I have lots of happy, joy mental things going on, and my executive functioning is really funky. In a nutshell. But last year was a struggle for me. It was a real struggle for me. And I was taken off course spiritually, physically, mentally. And then in October, I discovered AI Fusion. And I was on this first mindset. I saw the Facebook group, but I was just not feeling another AI group. I wasn't feeling another group, period. And then I got on this mindset. And the first thing that came out of anybody's mouth was Jesus. And I said, is this what we're doing? For real, for real? And I found, I don't like the word tribe, but I do like village. I do like community. But what I know about AI Fusion is that you all are a family, and I love that. I needed mindset with Jesus. I needed business with Jesus. And that is not what I was getting in the other groups. And when I took Kim's vision board class, and the first thing on her vision board was about Jesus and scripture and growing in God, And I said, okay, she doesn't just talk the talk, she walks the walk too. The first thing was not about um, business, cars, health in that way. The first thing was growing in my relationship with the Lord, reading more, just all the things that I wouldn't expect to be on a vision board in a different setting. I've been at vision board parties actually at churches, and that's never been part of the vision board. Um, and it it was one of those don't just talk about it, be about it minutes. And for anyone who's new to mindset, this is a safe group. This is a transparent group. This is a group of integrity. Um, this is a group that wants to make sure you win. Um, so if this is your first time, welcome. Um, I'm AI Fusion adjacent because I get to get on here with everyone. So that's about it. I will say I'm putting 2024 and everything else behind me. I had a thought come to me today about something that was negative, a negative experience. And I said, you know what? That was just a memory. You can let it go. And this group has helped me in dealing and confronting my mindset. Um, I've been in therapy for years. I'm a veteran, getting treated for PTSD. I have I have enough ADHD, funky executive functioning for everybody on this Zoom except Dean. He might be close, possibly, but he can't catch it. Um, but yeah, this is a beautiful group, and one of the things that, and this is just, I'm saying this fast, but you all know. Um, After taking Kim's vision board class, I no longer felt the need to beat myself up to hurry up and do something that wasn't aligned with me. And I was working, Michelle, I was working on the Kwanzaa planner and I was pushing it and pushing it and pushing it.
Okay.
And then I realized that you're supposed to be working on your prayer journal. You're supposed to be working on your prayer journal. Who are you doing this for? Are you doing this because you told Michelle that it would be done? Yes, I am. So I'm trying to hurry up and get it done. But then he said, no, that's not what I need you to be doing. You are trying to be on your own schedule. You put all these posts out last year teaching people about Kwanzaa, and now you feel behind schedule, but it's not behind schedule for anybody but you.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, Kwanzaa will be next year, and this will give people time to prepare for Kwanzaa. So when I say it's on my computer, it's really on my computer. Um, but taking Kim's vision board class, I knew that God was preparing me for stability that I haven't had in a while, mental stability, spiritual stability, because I've been under attack for the past few years. And it's been a one person warfare. Um, but being in this group, What I remember is starting at October of last year. Anything else before that, don't ask me because I don't know. But then I realized it was because I was under such attack. Um, but this group is amazing. And doing my vision board, I didn't go into ChatGPT to say, okay, Nikki, what are you doing? Nikki, what are you doing? Because I knew that I had a Zoom coming up, a live coming up about branding. I knew that I had a live coming up about learning Ikagi, whatever that is. And I knew I had a vision board that I can finish. So I've been at such peace because of this group in conjunction with the Holy Spirit, in conjunction with my thirst for Him. And He's made this group available. So if you love some Jesus and you want to get your mind right, and you want a successful business because it blesses people and you're using your gifts, then this is where you need to be. Hi, my name is Nikki. You spark joy for me. I love you. God loves you. God spark joy for the people.
And we love you, Nikki.
Thank you, Miss Nikki.
Please don't call me Miss Nikki. I am 2 minutes younger than you.
I love
It's
it.
out of respect.
Kristen, you had your hand up if you're still at the computer. She might have stepped away.
I just wanted to say I was late. I apologize, but I'm here. And what I learned from you guys, I want to first of all tell you that I have two teenagers. Well, they're not right here, but they have been sitting here listening to you guys talk. And then after your Zoom, we usually have a conversation of what they feel, and it's like a door that's always open for them. And sometimes when you're a mother and you have girls and they are two totally different individuals, but they get along so beautifully well with one another, it's hard as their mother to split yourself in half to listen to one side and listen to another. So when they sit here with me and they both can, as the word goes, collaborate with what everyone's saying, like Victoria, my youngest, said when Kim was speaking, Mom, I can kind of relate to her. I can kind of relate to what she's saying. And then Michelle, Kyra goes, well, I can relate to Michelle. And so it gives Mom a break. So I want you guys to understand when you have these classes, you're not only teaching the adults, you're teaching the children. And it gives me a big heart and a happiness to know that I trust you guys so immensely with what my children hear. And that is big for me. So not only am I honored to be a part of this group, I'm honored that you are telling my children the outside world as well as what I tell them. So I thank you for that. So even though it was a little late, I still got it. And I love you guys. Thanks a bunch.
And tell my nieces I say hi.
Michelle, you know what? Michelle, that is so funny you said that because Victoria goes, oh, it's Auntie Michelle. Hold on, I gotta sit down. And then Kyra was doing something because of course, they're homeschooled. So Kyra was doing something in the living room. I think she was eating her lunch or something. She's like, Michelle. So they're like they're both sitting. Here's one here. And so if you were seeing me on the cam, I was looking here, looking here, looking here. So yeah, so I just wanted to let you guys know not only do you reach the mother, you do reach the teenagers as well. And so it means a lot to me that they can learn from you. You know, I can only speak so much. And sometimes they need to hear from other people. And so it's good that you guys are those people because some people I would not want them to listen to. So it's always good. And when I walk away from the mindset and I have the conversation with them, it does me good and it does them good. And so thank you and I appreciate that.
You are welcome. You are welcome. I love that. That makes me so happy. This is, you know what? This is really why we need to share our gifts. And as Dean was saying earlier, it goes beyond ourselves.
Yeah.
Because those are teenagers. My 3-year-old, when he sees a recording of me, oh, mommy, you're on class right now. You're on class. I have to put it on the TV so he can watch his mommy on a Zoom. So I get it. I get it. You know, we do this for our community, but it is so much bigger and so much more. I'm grateful to be a little part of it.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Me too.
And I don't mean to interrupt, but I want to tell you another little thing. Last night I went and checked the girls before I went to bed.
Mhm.
And Cairo was learning how to do Photoshop.
Nice.
Okay,
She she was doing video on her computer, a screensaver. Like, okay, well, she's like, and I'm like, oh my god. She said, "Mom, it's just a screensaver." Well, to me, it's a big deal.
Miss.
But to her, "Mom, it's just a screensaver."
Love it.
And it had snow on it and everything. I was like, girl,
Oh, she's so
mm-hmm,
fancy.
mm-hmm.
I gotta see the screensaver now. We'll talk about that offline. Um, but but yeah. Anybody else before we hop off? Because I don't want to cut nobody off. Nikki already fussed at me. Does anybody have anything else that they would like to say or mention or questions? We all good?
I just have the journal.
Okay, go right ahead.
Um, I'm going to drop the link in the chat. The discount code for free is Mindset. It is a journal that goes along with our class for today. And I will quickly share it. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, so what does standing on the front line look for your life? Weekly goal setting, and then it's a 7-day journal with action steps and affirmations. So,
Love it. I'll be running over to get mine, that's for sure. Because Kim's
so don't just download it. Answer the steps every day. I mean, it's great that you guys come to the mindset, but we really want you to have transformation. We really want you to have change. We really want your business to not only thrive and grow, but we want you to thrive and grow as well. So please continue to come, but do the action steps, please. We want 2025, everybody to have not only growth in your business, but personal growth as well.
Yep. Nikki, do me a favor and send me a direct message on FB about what you just sent me in the chat. But yeah, Kim, I agree. This is all about a transformative process, mind, body, and spirit. Deborah, the code is mindset.
It's mindset. Yep, all caps.
All right. Kim says she wants Kim, Lord. Nikki says she wants to be unstoppable. I saw the word and instantly thought of you. All right, you guys. Well, I thank you so much for your time this afternoon. And kicking off on mindset with a really, really strong conversation. I pray that this definitely resonates with you guys and you start identifying on how you can be more present on the front line of your life. Deborah said the code comes up invalid,
Oh, please.
but
It works in all caps.
All caps. Okay. All caps.
I'm gonna make sure everybody gets that. Deborah, let us know when you're good to go.
Excuse me, Miss Kim.
Yes, ma'am.
Think that you can run that vision board back, please? I need to actually participate. I don't just want the replay. I want to participate.
Okay. Okay. Um. Okay. I was just thinking about my schedule. I this menopausal brain. I'm going through my calendar in my head. I'm like, okay, what day do I have available? What day? I'll put it out. You're in DCT?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll find you. Um, I'm thinking Saturday, but I think we have a commitment for Saturday, but it hasn't been confirmed yet, coaches, right?
Saturday, I believe at 1.
It's been confirmed?
Um, I know that was the idea tossed around.
Okay.
The confirmation, I think, not as of yet that I saw.
Okay. Yeah, because otherwise my next couple weekends are booked. Okay, it'll probably be this Saturday then.
So what time? Because I got a class with I think it's Regina.
Okay. And what time is that?
I want to say the class is at 4.
Okay.
11.
Okay. Well, I'll have to let you know then. Yeah, I'll do another one though. I'll do another one.
Okay. I appreciate you.
No problem.
All right. Deborah, I'm going to go ahead and send you the journal. I want to see this one has mentioned. I'm going to go ahead and send that to you. All right. So it's in the chat. So you should be able to grab it up. All righty, guys. Well, Miss Kim, look like you got homework. You got to check your schedule.
I do.
Just 2 quick housekeeping tips for me. This Saturday at 7 p.m., I will be doing a meet and greet, as you guys see over my shoulder. The lovely, lovely co-host for that will be Mr. Dean Stern. He gonna be asking me some questions, y'all. So, definitely stop in, relaxed environment. I don't like being too technical or formal about stuff. But you guys get a chance to meet me. Any questions you have for me, in regards to coaching or just getting to know me, definitely stop on by on Saturday. Also,
And where? Where? You didn't say where.
oh, I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and drop the link for that. Jesus, you know what? I'm on autopilot when it comes to certain things. So my apologies, you guys. All right, so let me go ahead and drop these links. Oh, and I actually got it pulled up. So the event for the meet and greet is free. So, I'm gonna drop
That's a deal.
It is free. So there goes the registration link for that. And I am also going to drop in a special that I am holding. So I am doing a January BOGO sale, buy one, get one off. So when you purchase a ChatGPT training session with me, for the month of January, you will also receive a complimentary coaching session. So if you have learned a new skill, trick, technique in ChatGPT, but are uncertain about how you can actually apply that to your business, then this BOGO sale is definitely something that you should consider to help you out, because for the coaching session, we will be diving in on how you can actually utilize that new skill set. So both of my links are in the chat. Kim, you want to wrap up?
Sure. Thank you guys so very much for coming out. We really appreciate it. We hope that this was helpful, and that it was useful, and that you'll be able to take some of the stuff that we talked about and turn them into actionable steps.
Absolutely, absolutely. And of course, I thank you guys as usual for your time. It is always a pleasure, and I think this was an awesome way to start off the year. It is only up from here. I can't wait to see y'all next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.